listening to my favorite talk show, The Weekly Show with Aditya.
It's 10 minutes.
This is episode 355 on the 23rd of April 2021, and I welcome you to episode number 355 on a cloudy Friday morning, on an overcast Friday morning. The events of this week have been bizarre. Well, the scam of the 22nd century is in full effect, and everyone has fallen to that scam hook, line, and center. But more on that later. Let's discuss what are the highlights of this overcast morning's episode. We shall discuss the after effects of Groundhog Day, what is Groundhog Day, and then also sing from the Beatles song Yesterday, as well as discuss who are the non playing experts in various sports. Let's start this beautiful overcast morning episode with this song. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they are here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly I am not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say yesterday. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yesterday. Now let's discuss the main events of this overcast morning's episode. One word to describe the current situation: a forgery and balderdash. Gullibility of the human species, the scam of the 22nd century. There is this thought process that Monday to Friday seems different, but if you look at it deeply, it's just the same. Deja vu. The same process of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then in between trying to work, trying to do something different, but eventually we end up doing the same thing. Getting up in the morning, going through the codes, and then once again an afternoon siesta, then getting up again, then through the same chores, and then sleeping at 10 a.m. or whatever time is suitable for us, and then next day repeating the same thing again and again. And this week has even made it even more interesting because of the events outside. It influences the events inside. But what is Groundhog Day? It's a really interesting term. A situation in which a series of unwelcome or tedious events appear to be recurring in exactly the same way, and that is exactly what is happening right now. We try to do something different but end up doing the same mechanical stuff, yet try to fool our intellect into thinking that it is different. Is it different? No, it's all mechanical, and we are so influenced by the artificial intelligence, the same thing happening again and again, as this definition goes, in a series of unwelcome or tedious events. And if you look at what is happening outside, how people are being gullible and are falling prey to things, events, the scam of the 22nd century, which started in January 2020, nothing seems different. It seems as if things are just rolling on, and we are doing the same thing again and again. Yet we try to think, no, we are doing different. Every day is different. Well, that's a whole lot of balderdash. But before we go further, let's take a short break. Welcome back after the break. Can this recurring events be solved? Well, it's all in the mind. Everything that we do as individuals, it's all in the mind. If we feel the things are same, the things will remain same. If we pretend that things can change, maybe up to some extent things can change. Well, that depends if we are not falling prey to the scam and the con of the 22nd century. How a mountain is being made out of a molehill, but until such mountain and molehills are created, how will people feel that something different is happening? That's the only way to keep people interested in the events happening outside. Since there are detention like conditions right now, and moving from one place to the other is an utmost impossibility, every day will seem like a groundhog day. And if you want to understand what does it mean, well, you may have to watch the movie Groundhog Day to understand. As if you get up in the morning, you go through the same chores, and yet it feels as if nothing ever changes. A feeling of deja vu. Well, in Matrix, deja vu is a malfunction. So maybe a feeling of deja vu is an electrical malfunction in our CPU? Well, that we shall know later on. But enough of the deja vu. Let's do and discuss something different. So, what is common between Michael Cole, Gautam Bimani, Mark Nicholas, and Alan Wilkins? Do we know who these four supposed personalities are? Well, let me just give you an idea. And of course, the one and only, you know this individual. They are all play-by-play commentators for one sport, supposed to be the voice of that sport, are given the moniker of on-air talent. Now in sports, there are two kinds of commentators. There are athletes who retire and their plan B is to carry on doing commentary or becoming coaches or mentors. Those who go on to become commentators, even if they have played 10 matches, that is enough. But they are individuals who have played this sport. But these five individuals whom I just mentioned, Michael Cole, Gautam Imani, Mark Nicholas, Alan Wilkins, and Harsha Bogle, and many more, they have never played the sport professionally. Though they claim that they have played at the college and the domestic level. Well, so have I, but it doesn't count. Now, these individuals who are given the moniker of on air talent, they work for a broadcaster, which means Michael Cole, for example, is a commentator, announcer for WWE and a broadcaster which WWE contracts to broadcast its events, Fox or USA. So he indirectly works for Fox and indirectly works for WWE. Both these companies are his bosses, which means they are under contractual obligations. What does it mean? When you watch a sports match, whether it's WWE or cricket or any other sport, with reference to non-playing experts, they are the brand ambassadors of the particular event, which means even if they don't like the event or they have some other thing to say, they cannot say anything negative. Why? Because they are under contractual obligations. But there's a caveat. Without the broadcasters, without a script being given to them, they are like a deer caught in the headlights. If you tell them that tomorrow, anchor the show, produce the show, do all the publicity related to the show on your own, nobody will help you. You will have to create the footage, edit the footage, show it. You should know when to show that particular video. They won't be able to do it because they don't have that kind of experience. They are only one trick ponies, which means they sit with a mic which is provided by the company. They have papers in front of them and instructions on how to go about the particular match between two teams or two individuals. They have to follow a script. And in cricket, as is the norm, the broadcasters and the statistician, or now renamed as data scientist, the entire commentary stints depend on being supplied data on a platter, which means they don't do any research. They are fed everything into their microphones and they just take the data on the surface level at a superficial level. They don't even discuss if the data makes sense. If, for example, average score on the ground is 170, but the team batting first scores 150, then they go on a tirade that it's not a par score. Why? Because the statisticians and the broadcasters and the producer have fed into their ear and onto their devices that 170 is the average score. So they don't even know how that logic of the score of 170 came up. They have to toe the company line, follow a script, and are not immune to the hire and fire policy, which means if the contractual obligations of these five individuals are done, and the broadcaster and the governing body, or in this case, companies who protect their brand fiercely,
It's
who are
10:15.
very sensitive about how to protect that particular brand, they can hire and fire these individuals. But that's them. These five are popular, but they are dependent. For example, they have to say RCB and CSK. I don't have to say RCB and CSK. I can say Royal Challengers Chennai, RCC. I can say BSK, Bangalore Super Kings. But they have to stick to it because they are under contractual obligations, which means 4 out of the 5 individuals cannot talk about other sports, even if they have some superficial knowledge. They are limited to one sport. If you ask them to create an entire package of editing soft, yes, we presume that they are not supposed to do that because it's not their domain. But the difference is they cannot do that even if they wanted to, because they are so used to being supplied everything on a platter, and are the most spoiled of brats. They're even bigger spoiled brats than the sports athletes themselves. So they have limited intellect, but they behave as if they know a lot, and that's the way these individuals are able to showcase their supposed talent on air. But that's them and then theirs. But before that, let's take a short break. But that's these 4 individuals, and then there's, of course, yours truly, the host of this popular talk show, own boss, expert in multiple sports, no company line, no outside script, self reliant, and statistics don't affect him. Which means I create my own script. When I am doing commentary stint, I don't have to toe the line of the company, which means I can be critical of the governing body's policies. It doesn't mean I have to say negative things, but I can say maybe they would have done this. These 4 individuals or the 5 individuals I mentioned, they dare not say that their respective bosses or the company are doing this thing wrong. They have to say everything that either the Indian Cricket Board or the WWE or any other governing body, UEFA, FIFA, or any other body, they are doing everything perfect. They dare not say even once that a few things need to change. No, it doesn't. But such things don't apply to me. I create my own script. I can go beyond the natural order of what a sports commentary is. I can talk about things which they may not talk about, or if they don't have information on that particular domain, they may not even talk about it. And then, unlike these individuals who are fixated on one sport, I have knowledge in multiple sports: cricket, hockey, football, WWE, baseball, MMA, and other such sports. So I can talk about them, and that's the big difference. They are reliant on these broadcasters alone. They won't be even able to write 2 words of their own script. If they're asked to do an audio video editing, they won't be able to even do one thing. And that's, they are popular individuals, but if you go into details, if you look at how they do it, they have to keep taking the name of the sponsors after every 5 seconds. If you look at WWE, Michael Cole often time and again, or whoever is the on-air commentator, has to thank the current sponsor of that event. And when these commentators give the presentation, they have to thank the sponsors. In fact, the script goes that the Indian Cricket Board would like to thank the XYZ sponsors. And that's how it is. They're using the commentators to thank the sponsors, and that's the best way. So these people play multiple roles, but without a script, they are like a deer caught in a headlight. Before we go further, let's take a short break. Welcome back after the break. Let's revise this part again. What is the common instance between Michael Cole, Gautam Bhimani, Mark Nicholas, and Alan Wilkins? And of course, Harsha Bhogle. They are all play-by-play commentators for one sport, supposed to be the voice of that sport, though they have never played the sport professionally, only at the college level, but that is dubious. They work for a broadcaster and a company which employs the broadcaster. They have contractual obligations. They're obsessed with statistics, and their entire commentary stint depends on being supplied data on a platter. Without data, without a script, they are like a deer caught in the headlight. They have to toe the company line, follow a script, and are not immune to the hire and fire policy. In contrast to the host of this talk show, own boss, expert in multiple sports, no company line, no outside script, self-reliant, and statistics don't affect him. And this ends episode number 355 on the 23rd of April 2021.
For more awesome content, tune in to the next episode of the Weekly Show.